My name is Evan Sunokuge. You're welcome to this edition of the segment of Viewpoints on ITV. As you can see, this building behind is the National Open University of Nigeria today. About 32 years ago, to be precise, in 1993, this was the Secretariat of the Social Democratic Party. And of course, when we'll talk about the Social Democratic Party, we won't forget in a hurry late MKO Abiola, who was the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party (SDP). MKO Abiola won the presidential election in 1993. The recent book launch that retired General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida had in Abuja confirmed to that fact. He said that late MKO Abiola won the presidential election in 1993. It is this that made us to take our camera to town to elicit the reactions of respondents concerning the annulment and the fact that IBB has alluded to the fact that MKO Abiola won the 1993 presidential election. Come along with us.
I will applaud the elder statesman, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, for coming at this time to admit that he nullified the election of 1993 of MKO Abiola of SDP between Tofa of NRC in 1993. The issue for a man of this magnitude to admit that he has erred, I will pray that Nigerians should easily forgive him, because he now knew that nothing is in this life, and he knew where he made the mistake, and that is why he make an appeal to admit, because it's closer to where he's going, to make an appeal that Nigerians should forgive him, that of a truth, June 12 election of 1993, that MKO Abiola won that election. Not everybody, if our leader can really admit their fault where things went wrong, I believe Nigeria will be a better place to live in. But unfortunately, that election that was annulled could have taken Nigeria, because it was a true election. The election was fair. And that's enthusiasm, zeal that Nigerians were really having to go for an election, and you discover that that zeal has been tampered with. But that election that was annulled by Ibrahim Badamasi could have taken Nigeria to a higher height. But now that he had admitted that I have erred, Nigerians should forgive him. For myself, when I heard that statement, when he made that statement to the entire Nigeria on his book launch, and said, I purposely did that not to give that mandate to that gentleman, a lot of people died. But I don't know the reason why. But the best reason is known to him. But now that he has also admitted, let Nigerians forgive him, and let's proceed to a higher level. The option A4, I believe, is the election that will be better for this country, in the sense that such election cannot be manipulated, such election cannot be rigged, because everybody, both the electorate, the parties, and every stakeholder are on feed for the election. I believe that when the election, everybody is an observer to what is on the feed, and result and report will be taken. I believe that when such thing is happening, no one will cry when the thing is so glaring. And that is why, if Nigeria can go back to that same process, I believe election in Nigeria will be better. That issue, when you discovered that you won an election, and your mandate was stolen from you, as an individual, it will not be well with you. MKO Abiola went to the grave with tears because he know the cause he fought for. He know what he fought for. He knows the battle he went through to ensure that election that he fought for, he won the election. For IBB to deny him of that mandate, the family of IBB, most Nigerians that lost their life during that cause, are not really happy. But the deed has been done. The family of MKO too are not also happy. But the deed has been done. But there is nothing we can do, but rather to accept what IBB have said, to say Nigerians should forgive him. As long as IBB is not in power, he has done his tenure. There is nothing he can do. You cannot carry a backload load to the present to compensate. The deed has been done, and posterity will stand.
Ibrahim Babangida did a book launch a few days ago, and it was well attended by those we can call the owners of Nigeria as it is today. Most all past head of states and governments, excluding Buhari, were physically present at that occasion. VP Osibanjo, former VP, was there. He delivered a speech. Even Peter Obi, of 4 persons, was at that gathering. Babangida wrote a book, and that book was more of a confessional statement. You cannot tell me you are not a free and fair election, where people, Nigerians, voted, and taxpayers' money was invested in that venture, and the future of a whole nation was anchored on that enterprise. Election is done to elect leaders, and leaders are to provide direction for a nation. You truncated all of that. The goal was aborted by you for no good reason. And now you were applauding, people were applauding that confessional statement. We expected them to be very, very moody and be very sober upon hearing the confessional statement contained in IBB's book. They wanted to make him a hero who did the wrong thing. You can't be a hero, a national hero, taking that route. If IBB becomes a hero for acknowledging 12 and all the consequences and the casualty that was inflicted on the nation by that singular act, and we by default declare him a hero and applauded his feat, where is the incentive for people to be patriots, to do the right thing that will elevate the nation and the ideas of civilization? I think what they should do after that confessional statement, after listening and reading that confessional statement contained in the book, there should have been a unanimous demand for IBB to offer unreserved apology to the entire nation, the people of Nigeria. The intention will be reflected on the actual action. When something has been reduced to action, intention is no longer very important. Somebody confessed to committing a crime and he decided to write a book containing that confessional statement. We see it as a confessional statement. What he intends to achieve is of no moment. It's what he has done that we should look at, and the admission of what he did in the past through that book. As a serious people who want the nation to make progress, we should ask the right questions. Why did you do that? Do you have the right to do what you did at that time? Now you've had through a democratic arrangement, and the person who won the election died in incarceration. A fallout of that your very unlawful decision, and you are being applauded. Nigerians should learn to ask the right questions. A man who killed somebody, who tried to topple an illegal regime, now overthrew a lawful and democratic process, and not an election. We are looking at it from a very narrow prism. We should look at it in a broader manner, broader perspective. June 12 annulment, the victims is the entire nation, the people of Nigeria, both who were alive then and those who were yet unborn, and those who were now born into the generation of crisis and chaos and democratic confusion. The foundation was effectively laid with that annulment. Free and fair election was what June 12 represents. This electoral manipulation that we are now made to live with, they were a product of that annulment. We cannot now say what led to our national predicaments that we are all now victims of. Then the convention should now be restricted to one individual. Abiola and his family were just one of those who suffered as victims of that decision. What about those who were killed demonstrating for restoration of June 12? They were from families. They deserve compensation too. What about me and you who are now made to live with the agony and trauma of imperfect electoral process? We are all victims. Like Christopher Kiku wrote in his The Casualties. The casualties are not only those who are dying at the battle line, at the front line. Those who are far away from the sound of the guns and the bombs, they are also casualties, the trauma. Psychological, they are all victims. In fact, the entire nation is a victim of that June 12 annulment.
Our past president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, saying in one of his books that he learned that it was really true that MKO Abiola won the election. Personally, because it's on a personal ground, I will tell you, it is mercy after death. I don't think he has any moral justification by now to come and tell us, because we all knew what we went through. Although we were youths then, I was a young, but I know what we went through regarding that issue, June 12. So many people lost their lives. They lost loved ones. Because when June 12 was coming, it was then some Igbos were living from one geopolitical zone to the east. Some came down to it. Some other drivers took their belongings, even at Ikoba Slope here then because of the hold up. Some slept there days. Some got home, nothing. They slept inside primary school and all that. But we give God the glory. Nigeria is still one. That has always been our prayer, because we don't have any other place to call our. But when it comes to this issue directly, Babangida should have bring it up now, because it's like a foregone issue. That is what pains me to the ordinary Nigerians. Not until the thing is far forgotten, they will not bring out the truth. What will it cost you to tell the truth? What will it really cost you as a Nigerian? Just say it and let everybody get hold to it. Even the Abiola we are talking about died because of that issue. We know, Nigerians know how many people are there, the children yet unborn before that June 12. But any other grown-up adult who can be able to read the newspapers then should be able to tell how many people went down the drain just because of June 12. Even there was a time the INEC chairman, or whatever chairman as it may be then, Nwosu, came out, said, why you are not June 12? The only reason you are not June 12, you were telling us more than 25 years after the June 12. You want to drag, you can't drag back the hand of time politically. Nigeria has to move forward. There has to be a pace that, but moving forward, I want to beg our leaders, please, when it's time to say the truth, say it and let your name be tagged with it even till the end of time, so that your children's children would know that our father or our mother was this, was that. Not when after how many years, how can you come up this year, 2025, to come and tell us somebody won election 1993 and it was unknown? There was no basis for that. Then you throw us into darkness, throw us into confusion, throw us into uncertainty. Every single parent was sleeping with one of their eyes closed with fear. This is never what we dreamt of. This is never what we wish Nigeria to become. But look at where we are today. June 12 is now a reference point. It's now a public holiday. But it never came to reality. Why will you celebrate such day? But because of the death of the man that won, it's okay. So be it. If you ask me about option A4, I used to know, at least in my time, we did option A4. But by now, I don't think option A4 is the best. He cannot drag us back, because even when we use option A4 in his time, he annulled it. So why can you come and now tell us? I'm talking about Babangida now. You say, okay, we should come and use option A4. This one is option A. For everybody will be on the line. You just know who is against you. Tomorrow, when you are even driving, the pedestrian man who did not vote for you becomes a potential enemy. Even if it is 2 votes, you say this man dey my side that day. Something would have. You can even jam him and say it was your brake that failed, because you have a driver's license. They will still sweep it under the drain just the way they swept June 12 till now. So I don't think there is basis for that. There's nothing like the option. If option A4 is, you should just go with it. That, as far as I'm concerned, though, I don't think anything like option A4 is. No. For our present day Nigeria, with our civilization and our enlightenment, no. We are not babies anymore. That's one good thing about the ordinary Nigerian man. He may not be educated, but when he's turn to do the right thing, they do it. That is just it.
It's a real privilege to be able to express my feelings about this recent book launch of our former president, popularly known as IBB. And I think I have ideas about what transpired then and up to date. Right, as we speak, a lot of divergent opinions is emanating, reactions which didn't go down well with most Nigerians, home and abroad. I, for one, I don't think this is the best time for anybody to argue about June 12 issue. Outrightly, it was a bad omen for the nation. The situation we are today will trace back this calamity that is befalling Nigeria today as a country, because the beginning of every process, if you get it right, towards the ending it will go. Just like when you are laying a foundation of a building, if the foundation is bad, there's no way you can get a solid house, right? And for me, I believe it is not even in a developed country, with due respect to General IBB, it would have been a different ball game. If you watch, no matter the numbers of years an incident or matters would have happened, there's always a way they will handle it. It's supposed to be questioned because it was a painful incident, no matter the interest or personal interest, regional interest, national interest. But we have first of all look at what befell Nigeria as a country then. The enthusiasm, the expectations from Nigerians that were yearning for a change that will bring developmental, progress to the nation. At the end of it, the reverse was the case. Among painful, the man in question won the election outright. And this scene of personal interest have been eating Nigeria deep. And it will continue to eat this our nation deep until we learn how to do things the way it ought to have been done. We should not allow our personal interests to be classing our sense of reasoning. Imagine if you are to even talk about June 12, for instance. Look at certain factors. Look at people that lost their lives. Look at people that went on exile. Look at people who were agitated that no, this thing must not be. And if you ask me further, I will tell you that election was between regional, sectionalism, tribalism, religion sentiment. Otherwise, it was like an Igbo man or a Yoruba man having issue. And one is affiliated to the other one. For example, I'm not saying that is how it is. IBB, the nickname, Evo Juniors, Maradona, shows that he knew what he was doing or what he wanted. I don't forget, I don't know whether this man is still alive, actor in Zeribe. It was a planned coup. It is not only the military. You say people planned coup or not. Izeribe was used to disrupt that process then after the election under the auspice of better Nigeria or what have you. But today, nemesis will catch up with so many of them. They are already regretting it. Can you imagine IBB today saying it? It's just like confession. Confession that even though he dies tomorrow, people will remember him either for good or for bad. But majority of Nigerians will always remember him on the negative side. If he has allowed that election, I remember then things in the market, the economy was booming. 95% of Nigeria were interested in Abiola taking over the government of Nigeria. You understand? For me, I think it's a belated confession. Abiola is center family where be disorganized or till today that quarrel is still there. And when the head is right, if their father MK Abiola was alive, the children that are fighting over properties, over this or that, it won't have been like that. Imagine Kudarat Abiola lost her life because of that. Baba Rwani, late Baba Rwani, it was as a result of Nedeco issue as emanating from that June 12 of 18. Mama Vasa, though you see, because it was like, I want to be the emperor of Nigeria. And nobody will ever succeed. As far as I'm concerned, there's no compensation that could be as if the man was to be alive. No compensation that can buy life. But however, when there is a point, there must be a counterpoint. When there's an issue, there must be solution. Let me start with your question about the Oshoyefo. As far as I'm concerned, really updated. We don't need to go back to that type of electoral system or pattern. One, it looks so local. How can you expect people to stay there? Is that what they are talking about? For you start counting, and there you create more room. We are talking about this open ballot process. We are finding it difficult. We are now saying when some people will be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you know, you say 100. You understand? It's not the best. For me, I will not subscribe to it. Then if you talk of the compensation, I think no compensation that can, but so long we are alive to see confession from IBB, what I would have expected or what I would suggest, first, the chronicle of command or appointment, like in the military, every brigade commander that comes to brigade as a brigade commander, there's a board, they call it chronicle of command, where you put their names. His name should be included amongst those who were once president of Nigeria, number 1. Then number 2, at least June 12, Democracy Day, well, it's okay. Then thirdly, the children should be made to understand they were once children of former president. Right? Then if there's other issue, financial compensation, though it might not bring their father back, but I will expect let's just accept it, because the important thing is this last confession has proven that yes, their father actually won the election, and it's a big joy. Wherever Kudirat Abiola is today, she will be vindicated that yes, Abiola himself will be happy that at last the truth has prevailed itself.
With various views and concerns are still being expressed about the presidential election, one thing that stands clear is that reactions will continue. The question again is, how long will this reaction be? My name is Evans Nokoge, Viewpoints on ITV.